How easy do you think the baby will come out? Welcome back to 3 Girls, 1 Kitchen. We are so excited to be back this week. So we need to talk about something a little bit uncomfortable. And I'm really sorry to have to put you on the spot here, Alexa.
You give me anxiety now. It's not that deep.
I'm gonna cry.
So me and Olivia were talking yesterday, and we think you need an intervention.
I didn't say we. I agreed. I was like, I agreed.
It's borderlining a little bit weird. Okay.
I don't think it's weird, but I think
Alexa,
it's time.
You're 25. We need this behavior to stop before you turn 26.
Well, don't say it like that. Listen, let me just say it so no one is going to roast you for being mean. I think it's time for you to let go of Mr. Wolfie.
Oh my God, never.
So if you guys don't know, Mr. Wolfie is a stuffed animal that Alexa has had since she was a kid, like completely fine. But she takes it on all her trips with her. She posted on her story, like, this is my boyfriend. Like, it's a stuffed animal. Oh. Yesterday, as I was getting my hair done, I saw a video of like someone else cuddling with him, and you're like, he's cheating on me or something.
No, I said she's trying to steal my son. Do you want to make you feel like shit for a sec? He wears, so my grandpa died of cancer when I was in junior high, and he wears like the guardian angel necklace. So he's my guardian angel.
Okay, but
I stopped bringing him on trips.
Stuffed animal madness doesn't stop there, Alexa. You have 3 giant teddy bears in your rooms with tiaras on their heads that you put on. Okay, so like completely fine. It's cute, but I think you need to start moving them into the closet or something. Like, it's completely fine to keep all this.
Oh, do you make you feel better? I got rid of a bunch.
Your birthday's coming up. You're going to be 26. Like, I feel like you're crossing the border into
like,
becoming a woman.
Her age.
And she's still young. She's still young. If you need help, we can help you redecorate your room.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
Well, okay.
Do you agree?
Mr. Wolfie will not go, but the big ones, they were all given to me by Troy. So then, like, they were just like big and cuddly to have because I was living alone.
Your room is also all pink.
I know. That is something I actually was gonna change because I'm getting a new painting in my room and it doesn't go with the pink.
What is it of? Is it you again? Okay,
the same guy reached out to me.
Now we need a room tour for our subscription club. Oh my God, that would actually be a really good vlog, redecorating Alexa's room to be more like a grown up.
I'm dead. It's so funny too because I looked at it and I was like, but it's so white in my room. I need to figure out like what if I don't do a color, it's so bland. So I need to figure out what I want to do. Yeah. That is something I was thinking.
We should do it. We should hire like an interior decorator. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be a really good vlog.
I do want to know though, do you think maybe some people actually have like a fetish? Like they think it's kind of sexy when a girl acts like, like.
Alexa, that's actually the reason why I don't like it. One, because, so the point that she brought up, one, because I think you're growing up, you're going to be 26, boogers are spewing out of my nose. And then 2, I feel like it's like, men could be sexualizing you because of that, because you do look very young and you have like the young blonde hair, and then you're posting, teddy bears and stuffed animals. And like, I don't want these like perverts like preying on you because you're giving off that like teen aesthetic.
Yeah, like
I could see that,
pervert vibes.
Unless that's what she's into. Which I hope
like currently I'm into nothing.
Your room actually reminds me of there were some strange people in the industry that I used to be in, and they would have princess rooms at their house. It was the people that were into like the daddy and little fetish. And your room actually reminds me of that. And I just like,
You were triggered.
Yeah.
I gotta get rid of that. No, that is funny though, because I was, the interior designer is coming back to our house to do some other stuff. And I was talking to someone how I was going to change up my room. Mm-hmm. But I also didn't know how much longer I was going to be living there. Yeah. But I think it'll be at least another year.
Do you remember that one time I threatened to take Mr. Wolfie?
Mr. Wolfie.
Oh my God. We were actually thinking of a prank to do on you last night, and we were going to kidnap Mr. Wolfie and then send you ransom pictures of poking him with a needle.
I'm not going to lie. I would actually, if someone did that, and I would ask Nisha, I'd be like, Nisha, can I borrow some money? I'm like, I wouldn't ask if it weren't important. But
No, we told Paige, I was like, she would actually fucking kill us.
Oh,
like,
Paige
she would
knows.
actually murder us.
Yeah.
I would be scared.
One time I left him at your house and I had Paige literally, she cuddled him and kept him in her bed away from Olivia because we don't trust Olivia.
Oh my God, it was like one time I played a prank while she
What did you do to him?
Well, I was
Probably molested him.
Wait, what type of animal is Mr. Wolfie?
A wolf.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's a fox.
He's so raggedy.
No,
I threw him in the wash the other day.
I made a joke one time, and I know she had gone I think on a modeling gig or something, and she brought him with her to my house, and I was laying there, and I made a video, and I was like kind of like softly choking him, and I was like, Mr. Wolfie is having a lot of fun, Alexa.
I thought she was gonna molest him.
And she was actually
getting creepy Uncle Dave.
Yeah, I'm like the creepy Uncle Dave, and she was getting so pissed. She was like, I swear to God, Olivia, if you fucking do anything to that stuffed animal. And she was actually being so serious. I was like, Alexa, chill. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do anything. And then she like called Paige to like make sure that I didn't like go throw him away.
It's a stuffed animal.
And the thing is Paige was on my side too, though. Paige was like, oh yeah, 100%. Like, I got you. She went in there, took Mr. Wolfie and claimed him. Saved him from Uncle Dave.
Oh my God. Okay. Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul.
Yeah, anyways, guys. The Logan Paul
So
fight.
anyways, on to the next. I actually watch boxing a lot, and I was really excited to see, because I've always watched Floyd, loved Floyd. I'm pretty sure when I was younger, my dad actually sent me a fan video of Floyd telling me happy birthday.
Really?
Yeah, because
You
I
have
was
the
obsessed.
sweetest dad.
Yeah, he was like, can you tell my daughter happy birthday? And I showed everyone in my high school. I love how I said I was younger, but I was like 15, I think. Love Floyd. So I was really excited to see him fight. And then obviously we all know Logan. And so I was like a little nervous. Obviously we were hoping it wasn't going to be anything terrible, but I think he didn't go too hard on him. What do you guys think? Like Floyd didn't.
So I was scared at the beginning when it first started. I was like,
Just be like a KSI.
Me and Logan have had like rocky waters. You know, sometimes I haven't liked him, but still like I care about him. And I was like, I hope he doesn't get brain damage. Like this kid's gonna get fucked up. And I was scared and I was having anxiety for him. Something that I want to point out though, did you notice Logan's facial expressions? One at the beginning, he was making the weirdest faces. And then at one point he was pushed up against the net and Floyd had him like by the neck and he was like,
Yeah, I saw that too. I was
like, what are you doing, Logan?
Yeah.
Like, did you think you were eating Floyd's pussy? Like, are you licking his asshole?
I think it's whenever you are like so much adrenaline is running, like you're just like the crazier you are, the more like
he was
power and energy you have, you know. So he was just like
facial expressions,
Yeah,
even
but I
before
think
they
that's
started fighting.
yeah.
just being an entertainer. There was at one
Yeah.
point where I saw him get hit pretty hard and I could see it in his face that he was like, like you could see like, oh shit, that was like a hard hit.
No,
Yeah.
But he handled it really well. Like didn't fall down once. And he's huge. Like he looked so big.
He looked really big in comparison to Floyd Mayweather. But if you looked at the stats, he's only 6'1.5", which for me, if a guy's under 6'5", I don't consider you tall.
Yeah, I mean, he just
But he does look bigger than his size. He also like Logan was looking really fit. He was looking good. He's definitely, you know, worked really hard for this. And I was impressed by him making it all the way through 8 rounds. The one thing that I've always said about Logan, just from knowing him, is not that he's not talented, but I think successful people either have like a talent, like they're an amazing singer, or they either have a really strong work drive. And that's what I've always noticed about Logan, is that his work drive is intense and he really hones in on whatever he's going to do and just goes 110% for it. So I 100% attribute it to that, why he, you know, has really leveled up and was able to make it through the whole match.
And I thought it was really cute at the end that neither of them said anything bad, and all the nice things that Floyd had to say about Logan. And then you could also tell at the end how stoked Logan was, and kind of like, not fangirling, but he was actually like really happy and appreciative and even apologized. He's like, I don't even want to be a dick. Like, I was in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Like, that's fucking sick. So it was really cool how they were at the end.
I know, I was just gonna say, but there was a video that was surfacing around, and I think we actually had watched it this morning that got sent to our group chat, where Floyd actually did knock Logan out, and there's just speculations going around that he wanted Logan to fulfill the 8 rounds because, I mean, essentially they're both making money. If they both end the 8 rounds, it's one, entertainment, you know, 2, it's money. And there was a video where it clearly indicated that, you know, Floyd knocked him out, and he actually, as Logan fell over, he held him on. So to make sure that he doesn't fall on the ground to get knocked out.
Yeah.
So Floyd actually, what the video looks like is Floyd actually held him up to make sure that he doesn't fall down so he can continue the 8 rounds.
I mean, even if you fall down, even if you do fall down in boxing, they give you a count and you count to get up. So even if he did fall down, he could have gotten right back up because obviously it wasn't a gnarly, you know, if he actually had been knocked out, he wouldn't have been able to, like, you know?
Yeah.
I did not get to watch the clip in the group chat just because I was getting ready for the podcast. But I do know a lot of people were disappointed. They were expecting a knockout.
Yeah,
from Floyd
I think Floyd.
However, it is true. I think they do make more money the longer they make it in the match. Like if they make it to the 8th round. I remember seeing an article briefly on my Twitter feed that Floyd said before that he wouldn't be knocking Logan out in the first round, that there wouldn't be a first round KO. So I definitely think I don't know anything, that there is more of a bag incentive if you make it all the way through the match. Also, couldn't they possibly box again now?
I mean, they could have anyway, but I feel like, I don't know if Mayweather would box Logan again. I'm unsure. They could, but one thing Mayweather did say going into the fight, he said it's a lose-lose for me either way, because if I knock him out in the first round, people are going to be mad. If I don't knock him out at all, people are going to be mad. He was like, I'm just here to entertain and like put on a show for everyone and just have fun.
I think the best, like what the fans wanted was maybe for them to make it to the 7th or 8th round and then have Floyd knock him out in the last round. Like that would have been the best case scenario for purely entertainment purposes.
Yeah. Or people would have liked to see Logan knock Floyd out.
Yeah. That would have been interesting.
That would have been interesting. But then, you know, yet again, people would have been mad because they would have just thought, oh, like Floyd did that on purpose. He just wanted, you know, maybe like Logan paid him more money or he would have gotten more money. There was an incentive to why he would have got knocked out. So yeah, like you said, Floyd went into it like saying it's a lose-lose situation. It was, you know, mainly for entertainment, but
also the betting companies probably made a killing because I'm sure majority of people were like, Floyd's going to beat Logan's ass. He's going to get KO'd. And a lot of people probably betted for Floyd and no one won. So the betting companies, I'm guessing, got to keep all of those bets.
There was never a winner. So it was an exhibition fight, so they were never going to declare a winner. That's how the fight is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm not like a boxing
I didn't know
expert.
Yeah, so
then how did the betting work then if there's no winner?
There was betting on like if they were going to touch gloves. So like little things like that.
There's like a knockout or
betting
something.
on knockouts. It was just like silly little things like what round and whatnot. But a lot of people lost money because they bet they weren't going to touch gloves and they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was an exhibition fight. So it technically there was no winner.
See, yeah. Okay, so I was wondering that too because after I'm like, okay, where are they announcing the winner? Where's the winner? And they just never did it, and so I was really confused. So thanks for clearing that up.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm like, I just wonder what
sports pro over here.
I just wonder what Logan's gonna do next. Like, be like a figure skater, like a circus juggler. I mean,
we were joking. We were like, oh God, if Logan wins this, he's gonna try to run for president next. He's gonna say that he's gonna take down Simone Biles in gymnastics.
But the thing is, though, like with Logan, and you know, like I've honestly even known him longer than even you have, and it's just so crazy, like to see that You're right. I do agree with you. He is just so dedicated to something, and that is something like I will give him credit for as a person. You know, he's so hardworking, and when he like puts his mind to something, he will prove or try to prove the world wrong. Like even if he fails, you know, like even if he does get knocked out by KSI or whatever, or you know, there's a tie, or you know, there was no knockout in the exhibition. He just really, really puts in all the work and dedication, and I really do like respect him as a person for that because I've never seen someone be so dedicated and so hardworking towards something. Like he will sacrifice everything, to get what he wants, and that's a true hard worker, entrepreneur. You know,
he definitely he has success in everything that he does, whether it's business, YouTube, everything that he does 100% to the fullest, and I've watched it firsthand, and it's honestly like inspirational. I wish I had a work ethic that good.
Same.
Yeah, same.
He'll literally like just 24 hours work on something, whether it could be the stupidest thing. Like one time he was obsessed with epoxy and he literally for 24 hours for just days and days went around his house epoxying random things. Like he's very like honed in on whatever he wants to do. I mean, good for him. Congratulations, Logan. Well, I see Olivia finally has her sleek hair.
Where is the sleeked hair?
There's a comment every single episode. Olivia, where the fuck is your sleeked hair bun? What's wrong with you, you stupid bitch? Where your sleeked hair bun again?
I see that too every episode.
I know. They DM me about it too all the time and comment my photos.
You should actually just send them photos every time you have.
Yeah, do you think they're like
thinking
money?
of you, baby?
Ooh, you know how like there's like a foot fetish? Yeah, if there's like a foot fetish, maybe there's like a sleeked hair bun. Yeah,
you would be the queen of that fetish. You pull it off so well.
Oh man, I really would be.
What's the weirdest fan messages you guys have ever had?
Oh my god, that's so hard to think.
One each.
I mean, I've had one where people will just say like, you know, like fart, like sit on my face and fart in my face or something. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I definitely have had that as well. I'm trying to think of something super weird. I've had obviously people try to get me to date their girlfriend, or people talk about their like farting fetishes and poop fetishes. It's usually a lot of just like sugar daddy things. Oh, you know what? Someone the other day was like, please send me a picture of butthole. I will send butthole picture back.
Oh.
So that was weird.
Oh, I will send butthole picture back. Like, when did you think that was a good offer for me?
It's like, yeah, let's do it. I can't wait to see your butthole.
That's disgusting.
Not it. What about
Mine is, there's this one guy who I'm pretty sure he messages you guys about me too. I think you've gotten a message from him. So there's this one guy, he comments on our videos, he DMs me, he DMs Mike, and it's always a storyline about how Mike kidnapped me and is holding me for ransom.
Oh
You
my
guys
God,
have seen
yes.
it?
He's like, he's holding her for ransom. I'm like, bitch,
Please help
she's
on it.
right
You're
here
a good
next
friend.
Is holding me for ransom in Africa, and the IRS is looking for Mike and the FBI because he stole all my money, and it's just ridiculous. A new storyline every single time. I honestly find it really entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's always like, how can you not help her? You're a bad friend. And
I'm like, she's right here next to me eating
is
popcorn.
this a fake version of her? I'm so confused.
Oh my God, is it?
It's what's it
one.
called? A projector, or what's it called when it's like a
hologram.
hologram? Yeah, I'm a hologram.
What if that's not really her?
It's not.
It's an
What if it's
imposter.
not? What if it's not Lana?
I'm in Africa being held hostage by Mike,
Oh my gosh.
and he stole all my money.
I'm like,
scared
dang,
now.
I'm shocked you can still afford this nice place.
Well, it's whoever this person is that is the
Well,
imposter.
clearly Mike keeps up with it by paying my bills so that no one knows.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really hard to believe because Mike is pretty cheap.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
you have a point there. This whole hypothesis might be untrue.
debunked.
Debunked right there with that. Mike Malek is cheap.
Oh man, guys, aren't we supposed to go see The Conjuring? Everyone's been talking about it, and I'm so anxious to go see this because everyone knows it's like, what, there's like 3 of them. This is the 3rd one, right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
obsessed with The Conjuring. It's my
Yeah.
favorite scary movie series ever.
I feel like it's become more popular throughout the years because I've been a huge fan of like horror movies, scary movies. I mean, I swear to God, I started watching when I was like 12 years old. So I've definitely seen all The Conjuring, and I never really thought it was like that popular until like I think the second one came out, and then all of a sudden people started talking. Really,
The first one was huge.
really,
Yeah.
I just never heard. I've never heard so much rave about this movie until like the 3rd one. Now we tried going to see it, and it was like sold out everywhere.
It's also
was
because the world
insane.
the movies just open, so people
That's
are
true.
trying to. But yeah, The Conjuring have always been really popular because it's like based on true events.
Yeah,
So those are my favorite. The Conjuring, the first one was the first movie that scared me in a long time. Because I love scary movies.
Have you
as
seen
well.
any of The Conjurings, Lana?
I think I have. For some reason, horror movies aren't very memorable to me. Like, I'll watch a horror movie, but it's
just
not
don't
like
remember.
something that I remember, or it's just like horror movies are just something that I do with my friends for fun, but it's not like, wow, that movie was so impactful to me in my life.
Yeah.
You know?
Over here, like, no wonder I have scary dreams all the time. All I watch is scary stuff.
So
Yeah,
what
maybe it's like my brain naturally blocking out trauma. I just don't remember when I watch a horror movie.
Your brain has like a filter for you. It's
Honestly,
like, no, sweetie,
I-
we don't need that.
I think so. I've heard it before that I'm like very like resilient and block things out.
Hmm.
I mean, what is it? Basically, kind of like the Paranormal Activity kind of concept, right? And then like they like kind of like tap into like another world.
You're thinking of a different one. When you tap into another world, I can't think of the name of it, but you're thinking of the one where the kid's like asleep in a coma in bed.
Yeah.
That's not The Conjuring.
Really?
That is Insidious. Yeah, you're thinking of Insidious.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
The Conjuring is it's just evil spirits. The first one's like evil spirits in a house, and they slowly start to like take over. And then they have people come in to help handle the situation. But I don't remember the full storyline of the third one. But it's based on true events, so that's what I really like about them. And I love paranormal stuff because I grew up with like ghosts.
So
and stuff.
on the plane, I watched Annabelle, and the actual Annabelle doll is somewhere in Connecticut, and I wanted us to do a road trip to go and meet Annabelle.
I just watched Annabelle the other day. Just
really?
for fun.
Ooh, I actually like that one.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. That's a true story as well.
I want to go and see
like
the doll.
Possessed. My friend or Haley,
should we steal Annabelle?
Oh my god.
I mean, I don't want to.
No, so there's I was gonna say people actually have encountered weird interactions with the doll. So Haley, like our best friend, so her friend actually runs all the marketing for all the movies, and he got to keep the real Annabelle doll.
How's that possible?
Yeah, he had to keep it at his house because they brought it to like for the viewing, because you know how sometimes movie theaters, whenever they have openings, they'll actually bring in the real costumes, anything that like has to do like with the real movies.
That seems a little risky.
Yeah, so he actually had the real doll, and he said he had some really weird encounters, and it really freaked him out. Yeah,
really.
Apparently Joey.
Apparently.
Yeah, I always say that word.
Apparently.
So I actually heard this yesterday. I didn't get to fact check it, but someone had told me that Joey King, she was in the first Conjuring, came out saying while filming The Conjuring, she had terrible bruises on her body. Yeah, she was noticing bruises, and I guess that they thought she had put fake bruises on her, and they're trying to wipe them off. And she's like, no, these are real bruising. Like, these are real. And it was during the filming of The Conjuring, and then after that, she didn't have anything.
Stuff is so weird. Remember when we were in New York and I had that weird dream? So our friend group, I feel like we're super into manifesting. And so I was trying to manifest this guy that I like. And I went to sleep that night and I had the worst like night terror, but I was awake. So it might have been sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
But I swear to God, I saw a black demon like crawl out of our bathroom. And you were in the other room for the bathroom, and then like morph into my suitcase. And it was so real and terrifying. And I couldn't help but think that it was like a message from the guy that I was trying to manifest. I'm like, this guy's the fucking devil. He just sent a demon to my room.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is scary.
It was so scary, Alexa. Like I thought that I was screaming for Alexa, but I guess I didn't.
You couldn't. Yeah, it's like whenever you have sleep paralysis, you like your body can't move. But I've heard instances like that. I've had sleep paralysis before, and I've had where I literally like thought that someone sat on my bed, and I actually felt my bed like lowering down. And I'm not even kidding you. This is when I was young too, so I had to put the covers like over my head. And I couldn't even breathe, like sleeping, because like I was under the covers. I was miserable going to sleep because I was so petrified of what I just felt. And I swear to God, till this day, like that's the only thing I can ever remember. Like I remember that like it was yesterday. Like it's stuck in my head. Like I know something literally fucking like slowly sat on my bed.
I mean, I've had a lot of real ghost encounters, but what I never got is why do you cover with the blanket? What I do is I always turn on a light of some sort. I'll turn my TV.
Are you scared to get up?
Some sort of,
yes, I was scared to get up.
My TV remote, some kind of light, because when you're under the blanket, then I get more scared. Like, what if they're gonna hover over you? You can't see what's going on.
Imagine you pull down the blanket and it's looking at you.
I mean, maybe now.
Oh my gosh.
Well, maybe now I wouldn't have done that, but I think whenever you're little, that's a natural instinct.
They do it in movies too, and I'm always like, why?
Yeah, no, it's just because when you're a little kid, like your natural instinct is to hide under something.
Yeah, I feel like I would get up and try to attack.
Yeah, so I did that, and I literally like couldn't breathe. Like I was like heavily breathing because I had a heavy ass blanket over me. But
I woke up to a little boy standing over me when I was a kid, because my great grandparents' house was super, super haunted. So I had brought some things back to our house, and I guess I brought spirits back. And I was sleeping on, I had a little princess couch in my room.
Of course you did.
Shocker.
And I remember I woke up. I still remember what the boy looked like. He's just like a little boy. He had blue eyes, brown hair. And I just saw him, looked, and just got up and went to my mom's room and slept there for a week. I just couldn't sleep in my room.
That's so scary.
Yeah, I feel like you have you've told me that you feel like ghosts follow you, which is really scary.
She's a real life Anna doll.
Anna
Oh my
doll.
God.
Annabelle doll.
Annabelle doll.
Alexa.
Oh my God, that's crazy. You
The
know that
Alexa doll.
I was
Your
gonna say
Alexa
that, and then
doll.
I was like, kind of sounds inappropriate.
Because-
That's why I stopped.
Because isn't the whole story plot that spirits possess the Annabelle doll?
Mhm.
Like,
So, yeah,
she's
it-
like a
it-
median. for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think that's so scary because like it could really be true that like, you know, like energy, I believe in energy and it could be so strong and that, you know, there could be like spirits that could go in, like how you guys said, like it's a median, right? That they find
Yeah.
something, an object to
Who do you
survive.
think would be the first to get possessed out of the three of us?
Olivia.
Really? I feel like
I
Amber
could
would.
I could picture her
Or
being a
Lana.
really scary possessed
Yeah,
person.
I
Like
pictured it. It scared
I
me.
would want you to be the possessed one because you're just not as intimidating. But Olivia,
Oh God.
as a possessed person, honestly would be absolutely horrified.
I feel like it's usually worse when the least intimidating nice one gets
Really?
possessed because then they're
Exactly.
even
That's
crazier.
yeah, that's why I said
yeah,
you.
it's worse.
yeah.
But I'm like, I try to pray and make my prayers every night.
Aw.
So hopefully it's not me.
Imagine if we had to do what's it called when they're like the Christ compels you.
Oh, and exorcism.
An exorcism on Alexa.
I would just be like, please guys help me.
The
That's
Christ
actually
compels
my
you.
worst
The Christ
nightmare.
compels you.
Oh my God. You know what else
Spritz
is
some coffee on her. Starbucks compels you.
But you just bring out, you open a can of Nutella and I'm like, come back.
Yeah, she's
We
like
have
tied
to-
up and she
We
smells
have
it.
to exercise the basic bitch out of her.
Nutella, Starbucks. You know what else is really scary that I've always thought, and I have a hard time believing this, but obviously it has to be true because I actually know someone. But there's people that can see dead people
Yeah.
or talk to dead people. I think that's so scary. Like our friend Haley, she also has a friend. He sees dead people, and he's told her before, and it's so weird because he's told her situations where he's like seen like things crawling up the walls and like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and imagine that person coming into your house and being like, "Hey, I'm letting you know right now that
I would sell my house.
yeah." But he's told her because I was like, "How do you feel about him coming into your house? Like, have you never been scared that he's gonna tell you?" And she goes, "Oh, trust me, he already did, and I have nothing to worry about. I have nothing, like no bad spirits, no dead people here." And I'm like, that's still so scary.
I've seen ghosts. My grandparents' house was really, really bad. It was when you could smell rotting flesh out of nowhere. You would smell all of a sudden a vanilla scent out of nowhere. There was rooms I'd be terrified to
So
walk in.
did you ever consider that your grandparents were serial killers and they had bodies under the crawl space?
Well, their house was built on Indian burial grounds.
Oh my
That's
god. So there's
scary.
probably bodies.
Yeah.
Maybe what did it start smelling when it got hotter outside?
No, so that's the thing about spirits. So if evil spirits are around, that's what the rotting smell means. So that means it's like a bad evil spirit around.
Like my nipples just got hard again.
No, I grew up with some scary things. My grandma would have like handprints on her. My mom had so many stories. It was very scary. But the house is no longer. When they died, they sold it and like tore it down. But I wanted to in high school go camping on the grounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Back to Indiana. Here we go.
Yeah. I am so excited. Today's episode is sponsored by Billy, the razors. Have you guys tried yours yet that they've sent to us?
Yes, I actually did the other day, my weekly leg shave, and
Ooh.
I don't have razor burn.
Really?
Yeah.
So last night I got my hair done for I think it was 8 to 12 hours at my house and the Billy razor was sitting right there. I was like, okay, let me try it. And I actually shaved my arms. Do you want to touch? Very smooth.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is really smooth.
No razor burn.
Nice.
Was really
Yeah.
I shaved
It's a
dry.
smooth
I
shave.
shaved dry too and it was really comfortable.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually insane.
Meet Billy, the best razor out there for days that you want an extra smooth shave. No pink tax, no visit to the drugstore, and no breaking the bank.
You can go to mybilly.com to get their starter kit for just $9. It's so affordable and includes their award-winning razor, 2 refill blades, and a cult favorite magnetic holder.
It honestly gives you the smoothest shave ever, and I cannot believe how soft my legs are.
Go to mybilly.com to meet the razor that got everyone talking about razors. They're an Allure Best Beauty winner and on Nyland's Best Beauty hit list for a reason. And to express a little love for our show, go to mybilly.com/3G1K. Show your support and get the best razor you've ever had.
It's just $9 to get your starter kit plus free shipping always. Go to mybilly.com/3G1K.
And that's spelled BILLIE.com/3G1K.
You know where I want to go for Halloween? All of us to Salem. That's
Yes.
what I've wanted to do for Halloween for so long.
I love scary stuff. I love like superstition. I bought a magazine for Paige, and it's like the top 10 haunted places in the US. And you know, there's actually like 3 that are in California. Yeah. So the Roosevelt Hotel is apparently known to be haunted because I forgot who died in it. It was someone very, very famous.
A lot of people.
There was like a lot of suspicious murderers there.
What is the show? American Horror Story.
The Black
hotel. The hotel thing was seriously based off of that.
Yeah. But what is it? The Black Dahlia? What was her name?
I know
Dahlia. The Black Dahlia.
Dahlia.
The Black Dahlia. Yeah, I think it was based out of California. It's when she was like murdered. She was like an inspiring actress or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of massacres that have happened in California.
Speaking of ghosts, because our podcast is relationship based, why don't we move this in the other direction? Have you guys ever been ghosted by a guy and then had him come back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked me that the other day, which is weird. Yeah.
I'm like, that's not normal.
I think it's more common than most. They always come back, is what I've heard.
Yeah. But now when you say ghost, like for me, like let's say
like over a month he doesn't talk to you.
No, I'm like, are you saying ghost as in like, let's say you guys are whatever, hanging out, seeing each other, dating, whatever the case might be. You get in a fight or you go on a date and then you just never hear from that person again. And you're saying then they come around, or are you saying you try to fix things, or like you're like, hey, like I haven't heard from you, like is everything okay? And then they just kind of like just stop talking to you.
So they give no explanation. Ghosting is they give no explanation for why they're not speaking with you anymore. They just go radio silent on you, don't respond to your messages, don't hit you up anymore, nothing. But you have no idea why they decided to do that.
How I was taking it, because I don't really go on dates, is just texting. So if someone texts me all the time or FaceTimes me and messages me all the time, and then all of a sudden they just stop. Like I have people do that all the time. For a full month, they'll just text me and call me and we'll make plans kind of to hang out, never do. And I mean, that's partially my fault as well.
Have you hung out with them before, or it's strictly just texting at this point?
It's different. Most of the time we haven't even like hung out.
See, I wouldn't consider that ghosting.
Okay.
For me,
then I haven't been ghosted that much.
I guess it depends on the person. Like some people care, like, oh, the person who I was texting blew me off and is not talking to me anymore. But for me, it's like I would only really be offended and maybe a little bit hurt if we had hung out maybe 1 or 2 times and I thought that he was going somewhere.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've had the same situation, because now actually thinking about it, the date that I went on that I told you guys in Philly, like, you know, with
I was like, with our date?
In the date
with our friends, with our friend's friend. We went on a date, it was great. Like, you know, we always had chemistry. He was really bad at communicating, and then I brought it up to him and he changed it. And then we did talk very often. And then now thinking about it, I haven't heard from him in like a month or 2.
She's like, now thinking about it, I have been ghosted.
Yeah. So actually, I've been ghosted.
Didn't even notice though.
But you know what? I swear, I believe in energy, and I do believe that sometimes it's like, it's almost like reciprocated. Like the fact that I'm not sad about it and that it didn't even bother me, because no offense, I actually had moved on to like, I was seeing other people. Like I actually did start to see another person. So I didn't even care that he ghosted me. To be honest, he did me a favor. But I feel like if I cared, I would have like reached out to him and maybe we would have continued like talking, or I've been like, hey, like I haven't heard from you. But I think it's kind of like, it's the energy reciprocated. Yeah. Like I've gone on a date with a guy where like it went great, but deep down inside I was like, oh my God, I cannot fucking wait to be out of this date. Like, oh my God, I hate him so much. And then it sounded like we were going to go on another date, but then we both just never heard from one another. But I think it's because the energy, you just know somehow.
Or sometimes you're sitting there like, can't wait for this to be over. And then they're in love with you. That's usually how it is for me. When I'm like not interested at all, that's when they're obsessed, wanting to date and do all this. And if it's someone I'm slightly interested in, that's when I'm like, they're kind of medium, you know?
So I've had it happen 3 times in my life. Only one time was it the case that you were talking about, where it's just like we both knew we just weren't going to hang out again after this. It was a random person that I met on Tinder. I was trying out Tinder. We hung out. He didn't look like his photos, and we just didn't also have great conversation. And so we were just like, okay, let's go to Chipotle. Like, let's just eat together. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing else to do. And so that, like, I knew, and I think he knew that I wasn't interested. So we never talked again. The other two situations, it's only happened to me when the guy has had a girlfriend that he didn't initially tell me about. One time I was very, very upset because like we had hung out and I was already very, very interested in this person. And I wasn't just interested, I was like obsessed with this person. So I did want to know. Now that I was younger, now I don't think I would ever hit a guy up and be like, hey, like, why do you quit talking to me? And so I did follow up with him and I was like, I really liked you. Could you please tell me why you're doing this? And he was like, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm seeing someone. And I had asked him prior if he had a girlfriend.
I mean, as you point that out, there is one guy that always hits me up every time he's not in a relationship. Every time he's not in a relationship. And then when I don't hear from him, I'm like, okay, I know he's in a relationship.
Wow.
Yeah, obviously I don't hang out with him because I already know how the process goes. But it's just like a pattern guys have. The second they're single, they have you on your mind or whatever girl on their mind, and they immediately have to text them. And guys, we know what's going on.
I always ask, like, you know, like, I know you guys are always like, be the bad bitch. Like, don't talk to him. Don't text him. But for me, it always just helps me because it really does just help me move on. Like, if I feel like a guy's about to ghost me, like if we got in a fight or whatever the case might be, I want closure, as in because I'm just like a respectful person to be like, hey, look, like, you know, let me know if you want to continue this. Do you want to give this another shot? Like, do you want to work this out? And if they're wishy-washy, that's a no. If they say no, then yeah. And if they say yeah, that's great. And I'm going to respect that. And I hate just like lingering and not knowing. Like, I hate being ghosted and not knowing because it's just so disrespectful. And also it just makes me like a better person because it makes me learn from their traits to think, wow, I would never want to be such a shitty person to literally ghost someone after having, you know, like so much intimate time or spending so much intimate time with a person to literally just act like nothing ever happened and never talk to them again.
Well, that's, you know, that's their issue for being that type of person. However, I'm the opposite now. If a guy wants to, I take you not wanting to talk to me as the message. Like, I don't need to go in and ask you if you're interested or if we're going to continue talking, because if he's showing you that he's uninterested by not messaging you first, not being very responsive when you text him, like, that is a message to me. I don't need to ask you anything else. If he wants to, he will come back around and he will show you that he's interested. So as I've changed a lot since back in the day when I did ask that guy why he ghosted me, now it would just never, like, you already let me know how you feel. And in that situation, because the question was, do they ever come back? I posted that I was pregnant on my story. 5 minutes after I posted, this man DMs me, sad about me being pregnant. And he's like, oh, that could have been us. I'm like, shorty.
You ghosted me.
I'm like, shorty, you knew I really used to like you. We had our chance.
Wow. I know. Isn't that so sad? It always takes something for like them to realize, like, they go back to your page and they see you succeeding or doing something. They're just like, damn, I really miss her. Like, wow, you're doing so great, when it's too late, or you're in a relationship or you're pregnant. It's like,
but what outcome did he expect from that? Did he expect you to respond and be like, oh, I mean, it could be, you know what I mean? Him saying
like
that
a jab,
this could have
like,
been us. What was in his brain? What response did he want? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, we have like, I'm very like, I joke around with people. You guys know, like, if I like a guy, I'm like, oh, we should get married. Hee hee. Let's have kids together. Like, I'm very like over the top flirting like that. And so I have made those types of comments to him before. And so that's just kind of the banner that we have. But I think every single ex-boyfriend that I've had has hit me up about being pregnant, being upset about it.
Wow. I'm like, damn, maybe I should get pregnant.
They always got
Just like, kidding. Because they realize that they're never going to have a chance with you again.
Yeah. Well, they
That's
always
sad.
come back.
Yep. Yeah. So more of the story. If someone goes to you, they always come back at some point. So
because I'll be curious. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to message them, follow up with them, blow up their phone. Just be patient, move on, live your life. They'll come back.
And I was gonna say, and if you do, here's the thing, because like, since I always want closure, if you do want to reach out just for your sake of mind, don't beg for them. Don't try to work it out, because like she said, if they would have wanted to work it out, they would have already been the one to reach out to you. So what you can say is, hey, where do we stand? How do you feel about this? And if they're wishy-washy, then you will literally just say, I totally understand and respect your decision. I wish you well, like, take care and be happy, because that's also still gonna mind fuck them too, because they're gonna think, oh, she's gonna want me, she's gonna beg for me. No, because if you are the bigger person, you respond in that way, they'll still also come around, you know, whether they ghosted you or not. So it's either way.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, that's kind of how you were. I would be like, why?
Yeah.
But now, if someone just isn't talking to me, I just let it be, because if he did want to see me, he would make it clear that he wants.
Yeah, and I feel I've said this too. I feel that you reaching out is you hoping that he's going to give you the reaction that you want. I feel if you don't want that reaction and you already have accepted, like, okay, he's not interested in the way that I thought that he was or the way that I want him to be, you wouldn't even feel the need to send the message, because if he wants to, regardless of whether you send the message or not, he's going to make it happen.
And do you remember you 4 in the morning, you're running into him?
If
he wants to, you will. Oh, let me have he wants
so true. Another thing I want to say about ghosting, in my experience, a lot of the times it has nothing to do with you. They probably already have someone that they have feelings for,
or
that they're
started
interested
seeing
in.
someone else.
Yeah, they started seeing someone else who they think is better for them. It's nothing against you. If there's someone better for them, then there's also someone better for you. So don't get down on yourself.
Yeah.
T. Should we move on to fan questions, ladies?
Yeah.
All right. So my fan question is, where do you see this podcast in the next year?
Cute.
I like that. It's very wholesome. Well, where I would see this podcast is number 1. Duh. I'm just kidding.
On
That's
what?
not
Apple?
Yeah, Apple. You know, I just see this podcast growing to where we're able to reach more of an audience that can relate to us. I think that's been like the most important thing. And I think that's just been kind of what we've wanted to do. And most of the times our comments or people that will like reach out to me or DM me always say most of the same thing, as saying that I just feel like I'm sitting in a kitchen or I'm just chatting with you girls. Like, you know, we could even talk about nonsense. It doesn't even have to be informative things or anything. I think what's awesome about our podcast is that we just try to keep it real and like non-scripted. And a lot of times I've noticed that girls are just growing to feel like when they don't have someone or they just need a friend or, you know, they want to just listen to something, they listen to us and they feel like they're in the room with us. And that makes me so happy, because I never actually thought that we were going to be that way in a podcast. You know, I don't know. I didn't really think that people were going to feel that way. So that makes me feel really good. And I hope that we can just become more inspiring as a podcast in the next year and maybe even more informative. And I would actually want our podcast to expand to where we can, you know, have like seminars and like go publicly speak to people.
Seminars on anti-vaccine.
Oh God. Hey, I never said I'm anti-vaccine. I'm just very scared to take the vaccine because there are risks.
Can we all agree? Yes, there are risks to the vaccine, but everyone should get it. Can you agree on that?
I think it's your choice.
I think that's your choice. You're like forcing me.
Not everyone should get it, but if you're healthy enough to get it, it is, you know.
I mean, if you're healthy and that's what you want to do, then yeah, I believe in that. But I'm saying, like, for me personally, I am scared to get it. You know, I have a friend who lost her husband because
he was diabetic. We don't have to go into it, but if someone is healthy enough and it helps, you know, the rest of the world and the community, they should get it, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's up to them. That's their choice. Yeah, I'm not like against it. I'm personally scared of it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think sometimes what happens, because I did want to talk about this a little bit, is we're human, you know, and sometimes when we're having a conversation about things, the subject gets switched too quickly, or just being human, you don't always word things the right way. And I know, because I'm your friend, that you mean well, and that a lot of times things are interpreted in a way that you didn't fully get to get your point across, or in a way that you didn't mean. And I just hope that everyone's more kind in the future, and it's okay to have a different opinion, and just understand that, you know, we're human. We don't always word things the right way. So anyway,
back to the fan questions.
Well, I was gonna say is I agree with everything that you said for the podcast, and I want it to become something that, you know, we're helping others and encouraging others. I personally want to learn how to express myself more and be more vocal and not as quiet, and learn to speak a little bit better to get our point across correctly, because I do realize it is hard sometimes. And even after we leave here, I'm like, oh my gosh, I wanted to say this and I didn't. I just sat there and said nothing.
Yeah.
So for the future and the next year, hopefully we all are more in tune with ourselves, I guess, as a whole for the podcast and with speaking and just comfortable in helping.
That's why I love doing the podcast, because I feel like it's helped me improve so much as a speaker. Even in my personal life, having conversations, it's given me more confidence. And there's always something that we could improve on to be better for the podcast. And like you said, even, you know, sometimes I'll watch the podcast back and I'm like, my point did not go out the way that I thought that it was going to. I did not, you know, say it the right way. So it's definitely always something to improve on. And I've seen all of us grow so much over the last season and now this season.
It's crazy to think back from the beginning, especially me. Like, I've grown so much and became a lot more confident. So it helps us in our personal lives as well. So, thank you, everyone.
Look at the Polaroids. We look like completely different people.
I know.
It's crazy.
You want to go?
You go.
Okay. So my fan question is, should I make the first move or wait? I actually prefer when I'm with a guy if he waits, because usually if you are unsure if you should make the first move or not, it kind of makes us uncomfortable. I like to just hang out and chill with someone and not be worried, because as sad as it is to say, when I hang out with guys, especially when it's newer in the beginning, I'm always worried, are they going to try something? Do I have to worry about politely saying no and not offending them? So just to be respectful, I would wait, because how I am, if I want to do something with someone, I make it very clear and very obvious. But it's better to not make a girl uncomfortable than, you know, maybe make her wait a little longer. If she does want to hook up and you don't try anything, it's going to make her want you more.
Yeah, but what if I've had guys who are too scared to try anything ever, and I'm just not the kind of person to make the first move, whether it's a kiss or like to have sex or cuddle. Like, if it's contact, you need to initiate it. I think it's the right place and the right time and just feeling the vibe. Like, if a girl's like, oh, take me to dinner, and then she like hesitantly goes back to your place for a drink, that does not mean she wants to hook up.
Yes.
But if she's coming over to your house to watch movies and like it's clearly not just friends and she's like close to you on the couch, like she probably wants you to kiss her.
Yeah. I think read body language for sure. Because sometimes, you know, you'll be in a situation where you are watching movies with someone or just chilling on the couch and they're trying to get up on you. How I am, if I sit next to you or I'll just like, you know, I'm just a touchy person. I'm obviously not going to attack them. I'm shy, you know, I'm not going to jump on you and be like, kiss me. But I will make it very clear with my body language, extra flirty. I will do a subtle touch and sit next to you. But if you can tell I'm like sitting up straight, I'm like fidgety, I'm on my phone a lot, please do not try to touch me.
Well, I think you just pointed out something good, like a subtle touch. Maybe test the waters, like touch her leg.
Like rubbing shoulder.
And if she touches you back, that means she's interested. But a lot of times guys will touch me and like I'm just like, oh, please stop. You know?
And then they're like, oh, you like that?
I'm like, I do not like that.
Yeah. It's so crazy how some people just don't read your body language. So I think that would be the key is read the body language, but it's always best in what I believe is to wait.
Yeah, I definitely agree too, to wait. And it makes a girl want you more too and respect you more. Because I've had guys where they like wouldn't even sleep with me when I wanted to sleep with them. And I was like, wait, damn, I really like this guy. That means that, you know, I was like, wow, like he's a keeper.
I've had that too, but then they were just playing a mind game.
Right?
Or like, there could be something else wrong. Like I've had guys not want to sleep right away because they had a herpes outbreak and they didn't tell me. There's literally multiple reasons, or they have a girlfriend, you know, so I wouldn't say it's always a sign that he's a keeper, good guy. It could be quite the opposite.
But that's just what we think. I'm like, oh, I actually thought the other day, I'm like, this guy hasn't talked to me sexually and it's been like, you know, a month. He must actually want to get to know me, but
well, it's different being respectful and then just strangely not wanting to hook up.
Yeah.
When it's appropriate. Okay, my question.
Herpes outbreak.
I'm gonna pee myself.
No, I really had that happen.
I'm gonna pee my pants.
Yeah. I need Starbies.
I need food.
Okay, so how easy do you think the baby will come out? So I don't know if you guys have seen, but people are making memes and TikToks saying two things. One, that my child is going to be bullied in school. And 2, they're making TikToks about my delivery of my child and like children going down water slides.
I actually haven't seen any of that. I haven't been on TikTok though.
Well, those are majority of the comments, like on my Instagram, on my TikTok, on my Twitter, just saying stuff like that. And then also just like, I feel bad for the kid because your mom did porn. I have one thing to say to that. I feel bad for you. You clearly had a terrible mom who raised a son that talks like that to women.
Well, also the whole like your child is going to come out like a water slide. I really hope that you take a science or biology book and do some research that a woman's body does not work that way. It doesn't matter if a woman has had sex with one person 3, 5, 10, 20, 40. It's not going to make her vagina loose and have a child come out like a water slide. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the human anatomy is definitely does not work like that. So it's very, very just disrespectful to ever say a comment like that because it's actually wrong. So it's not even an insult. Like you actually are making yourself look dumb by sounding very uneducated.
No, they should be ashamed to talk like that to women. I don't care what the woman has done in the past. Yeah. It's misogynistic and it's disrespectful. You should feel ashamed and embarrassed as a man that you talk like that to women.
I'm like, yeah.
These comments are just so stupid though. Like it doesn't make me feel bad. I don't really care. But I did think of the fact, the reason why I wanted to address it is just, I don't think that it's okay. Especially all the things in 2021 that people aren't allowed to say anymore, yet they're allowed to talk to women like this.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah, very disrespectful, yeah.
So guys, that wraps up our episode. Thank you so much for watching 3 Girls, 1 Kitchen.
Like almost 4 girls, 1 kitchen.
Oh yeah, hopefully
what do you
4
mean?
girls, 1
that makes
kitchen.
people think they know what it is.
No, okay, so we don't know the gender, but I'm hoping for a girl. Alexa wants a girl, Olivia wants a boy, so it's 2 against 1. Yeah, so hopefully 4 girls, 1 kitchen soon. I'll be finding out later this month. And make sure that you head over to Apple, subscribe to us on there if you're watching on YouTube. And any last thoughts?
No.
Bye.